Personally, I think it was a good season. You know, I achieved some milestone, most shutouts in a season and most penalty saves in a season. So personally, it was a great season. You know, finished second in goalkeeper year. But overall, I would say it was a very good season. Personally, yeah.
Would you say this is your best season?
Best season stats-wise?
Yeah.
Yes. So, and for me, one of my goals is to get better with each season. So if this is my best season yet, stats-wise, then it means that, you know, I'm heading in the right direction. So hopefully 2022 can be even better. So yeah.
Yeah, 'cause one of the things that I noticed as just a fan of yourself and the team, naturally, you've grown in stature. Because, you know, one time Andre Blake, yeah man, you know, upcoming keeper, yeah, I mean, but like them time I know you're up there in terms of like globally and regionally. Like, where would you rank yourself in the region?
To be honest, I leave that to the fans and the followers to really do the ranking.
They will tell you you're number one, yeah?
Yeah, you know, but for me, you know, it's just to get better every year. You know, my biggest competition is myself. I'm not competing with anybody else, and I just want to reach my maximum potential.
One of the things that you mentioned was your place in the MLS Keeper of the Year, and of course Philly just missed out on, you know, the trophy as well. Which one do you think was more disappointing for you, missing out on that or the club award?
I'm going to say club.
Yeah.
All day. I've won goalkeeper of the year twice. So, you know, not like it would be my first. Obviously, I'd want to be a third time, but I still have time for that. You know, but you don't get to play in the finals very often, you know. So whenever you get that chance, you want to make the most of it. So for me, you know, that's the most disappointing. I always say I play a team sport. I don't do track and field. You know, so while I welcome the individual accolades, you know, the team ones are more important to me.
But I mean, you did win it before, so
yeah. So yeah,
you just want to repeat that feeling, yeah. All right. So one of the things that a lot of people say about you, because as I mentioned, you've been growing in stature, is that they believe. You say you leave it to the fans, and I can tell you as a fan, we believe you have the ability to maybe play in Europe. Is that something that you'd still want to do? Is that something that you're looking to do?
I believe I can play there as well, you know, and I want to play there. But, you know, as I always tell people, I can't sign myself over there, you know, and the timing is important. You know, sometimes when people hear the word Europe, they just think it's all, you know, better roses in Europe, but it's actually not. So I want to make sure if I'm going to the right team, you know, and the right league and everything. I've turned down offers from Europe.
Offers like where?
You know, I won't go into that, but even recently there was a, we didn't get far into it because me and my agent, we made a decision pretty quick, but I think there was a team in Holland, you know, that came and, you know, a good team. They wanted me, but it didn't make sense based on what we are looking for and all of that. So we decided that, you know, it wasn't the right move, and we just kind of shut it down. But I can go to Europe tomorrow if I want to go to Europe, but I don't want to go to Europe just to go to Europe. I want to go to England, you know, or Spain or France or even Germany, and, you know, go to a team that, you know, first of all, you can go and compete for a spot, and also an established team.
One of the, I'm going to speculate a little because you say Holland. And this is unofficial or official. We'd edit it out if necessary, but I'm wondering, was it Ajax? Because Ajax was, you know, they're looking for a keeper right now. You say it's a good team.
I can say it was not Ajax. Maybe if it was Ajax, you know, I probably would have made the move, but it wasn't Ajax. And again, it was very early stages. They reached out, they said they were interested. They wanted to bring me in immediately, you know, but we couldn't come to certain terms, and so we kind of just say, you know, we don't want to waste each other's time. But, you know, there was nothing in writing, but there was some serious interest.
So you mentioned England, France, or Spain. Your boy get assigned to Toulouse or they.
Yeah.
You think maybe you'd want to go to that level of team, or are you looking maybe for a championship team? Are you looking for a team competing in maybe Europe? What's the?
So I think I did some research, and they're in the second division right now, but they're about to get promoted. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a good team. And again, you know, you're probably wanting to go to at least a mid-table team. If it's first division, or, you know, a team that's established in the second division that looking to go right back up, you know. But even in England, championship is a great league. But again, you know, you want to go to a team that, you know, stand a strong chance of making it up to the Prem. You don't want to go to a lower team. And then again, you know, numbers also, because, you know, some of the teams are just not looking to pay the transfer fee and the salary. So you have to shop with mid-table teams, because the lower teams are going to say they can't afford it. So yeah.
Is there any, and this doesn't necessarily have to answer the question of transfers, but like, is there any kind of fan base or any coach that you'd want to get involved with? Because, for example, Ravel over at Derby playing under Wayne Rooney, Leon playing under Steven Gerrard right now. And then, of course, fan culture in these countries are very good as well. I mean, it's good in MLS as well, but is there any, like, you know, like a stadium that would just, you'd really want to get into that kind of environment? Is there anything like that?
Not really. I would love to play for Manchester United. You know, that's my team when I was younger growing up. So, but again, you know, I just have to live in the moment and keep taking care of what I can control, which is, you know, getting the results on the pitch, you know, racking up the numbers, and just have to wait and see.
All right, so final question on the club front. Is there any accolade or any goal that you want to achieve by the end of your career? Not calling out retirement time, you just...
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go generally. I want to play in a World Cup. And I want to win MLS Cup. And, you know, and I want to win the CONCACAF Champions League. You know, so I'm a winner. I want to win, you know, all competitions that I participate in. I'm in it to win it, you know, not just to make up numbers, you know. So that's what drives me every day. You know, I want to win.
You mentioned a couple of them about the Gold Cup. We got really close one time.
Yeah,
it was a disappointing
twice.
Finals for you. Yeah, but
I've been to the finals twice. You know, very disappointing. Yeah, let me just toss that in there as well. I want to win the Gold Cup, and I want to win the Nations League, you know. So there's some trophies out there to be won, and, you know, I want to win all of them. You know, I was recently at my mom's house where my trophy cabinet is, and I brought my kids there, and they were looking at them, and they were so fascinated, and it just kind of brings me back joy, you know. But when I look at that trophy stand, it's just goalkeeper of the year and golden gloves, and, you know, there's not enough, you know, team trophies, even though they wouldn't be in there, but you would at least have the medal, you know, a gold medal, you know. But yeah, I want to win everything, and so, you know, when I get older and I retire, I can share the memories with my kids and the younger generation.
All right, so let's shift focus now, because you mentioned playing in the World Cup as an ambition. We know we don't have to beat around the bush. It's not been the best campaign so far. Just quick sum up the World Cup qualifying campaign this year, or this one so far. How's it been?
It's not been the best, but it's definitely not the worst. I can't remember clearly, but I think the last World Cup qualifiers that we participated in, we did way worse than how we're doing right now. Still not where we want to be, but it's a tricky situation because football, you need chemistry and it takes time to build chemistry. You don't just put 11 players on the field and they get the job done. And we're going against teams that are very gel. The US, Panamas, those guys have guys that have been playing for a while. However, we got some great additions, but we're trying to make it work, but I think the timing is a little, I don't know if I want to say late, but again, you need to play together, to know each other, to build that chemistry. And I feel like even the Panama game that we lost 3-0 at the National Stadium, on paper we were supposed to probably win 5-0, but that 11 was the first time ever playing together. There was a training session. We had one training session because those guys couldn't travel to Mexico.
Right.
We came back, we couldn't do anything the day, and then we had one, that team trained once together. And that 11, it was the first time, and it was obvious on the field. So there was nothing, and I feel like that's a big part of what's affecting us because we have the players, we have the names, on paper we have it, but on paper don't win it. So we're trying to expedite the gelling process in a sense, so we're working on it, and the fans are not happy and we're not happy because we want to win. But things like these, take a little bit of time, and I don't know if you guys see it, but as the tournament goes on, I feel like you guys are starting to see, some better performances and results in a sense because we're now getting time together. And if you go back, you look at the El Salvador game, that was unfortunate. That's 3 points right there. Mm-hmm. The Canada game in the stadium where Flemings hit the post, that's another 3 points. In Costa Rica when Bowser had the one-on-one with Navas, that's another 3 points. And not to mention the US game.
Should have been 3 points.
So, it's just, it's a bit of, late with preparation and lack of fortune. But they say sometimes you create your own luck. So who to tell, maybe had we have all these players earlier, and had more time to really gel and train, then we probably would be top 3 right now easily.
Well, I'm going to come to that, but do you think maybe the situation is still salvageable, isn't it?
For me, we have 6 more games and 4 at home, and again, I'm a winner. I never give up. And until the fight ladies sing, we're still in it. And the tricky thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is that everybody play everybody. So if I'm winning, it means somebody is losing. So it's a dog fight where, if you go on a run and you win 3-4 games, you'll be surprised to see where you are because it means that somebody else is dropping points and everybody plays everybody. So people are going to lose. So it's not like you're playing in a different conference where, you are stacking up points and you're not losing. But so if somebody wins, somebody loses, which means you're getting closer to somebody. So it's going to be very interesting, and I'm 100% sure that we're still in it. We still have a chance, a great chance, and we still believe, and we're never going to stop believing. At least I'm never going to stop believing, and I think for the most part all the players think the same.
You think the fan support will help because the US game when we had the crowd?
Yeah, fans always play a vital role in team success and team performance. Having that 12th man out there is very important. You feed off their energy, and when you can have them in the stands and cheering for you and knowing that they're on your side, it almost gives you this extra edge, this extra motivation, this extra push. So having them was definitely a boost, and we look forward to having them again when we next play at the stadium.
All right, so talking about the team culture now, a lot of people don't really give enough credit to the fact that You mentioned Mexico and Panama, and these are players and teams that have very unified culture, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But in Jamaica, in our team, it actually isn't so straightforward. Because we have local man them, a man like yourself who's from here very much, but play overseas.
Mm-hmm.
We have some man them who, obviously the imports, so to speak. You have some of them that's more Jamaican than some in how them grow up and in, you know, the culture. So there's a lot of, you know, cultures to manage. It is very diverse. How do you add a team manager?
And again, something like that can be very tricky because everybody is different, you know, very different in a sense. So you have to find what works for everybody. And everybody have to just understand that, all right, at the end of the day, it's a team. It's not Blake, it's not Low, it's not Bailey, it's the team. You know, and you know, to have 23 players playing in 23 different leagues coming to the national team, you know, and to all understand that, listen, it's not what you do at your club, no, it's national team. So it's very hard, but you know, that's part of my job to kind of, you know, keep everybody grounded and to let them understand that, all right, you know, there's no one person bigger than the team, and it's teamwork, and you know, that's what's going to make the dream work. And if we go out there and we play as individuals, we're going to lose all day, especially now when you're playing qualifiers where, you know, this is the biggest stage before the World Cup. Everybody wants to go to the World Cup, so you're going to get everybody's best shot. You're not playing some Caribbean teams anymore, you're playing against the best of the CONCACAF. So if you go out there and you're not ready, you're going to get whipped.
You mentioned your role as captain. I'm sure Nana would also be in that as two of the obvious leaders of the team. Who else in the team like are leaders?
We have a bunch of leaders because we have Liam Moore, who is captain for his team. You know, Mariapa was once captain. So we have, and that's very important because at the end of the day, you need 23 leaders. Mm-hmm. The more leaders you can have on your team, the better. You know, so I feel like it's good, and you know, we just have an understanding of each other, and everybody know their role and know when to step up. And you have a quiet leader, you know, and then you have a more vocal leader, and you know, you have a leader by performance. So everybody knows their role and when to chip in, and that kind of helps us to get the unit together.
Is there like a leader for the foreign guys?
Yeah, you could probably say Mariapa and Liam Moore to an extent. And Bobby Reed's been around for a while too, but he's more quiet, you know, but yeah.
Right. I mean, who's the vibes, man? Is it Antonio look like him come and up on the food Saturday? I know Ravel instead.
You know, Ravel the problem child from morning, and you know, and Antonio came and just fit right in, you know, and I admire that. You know, and for me, you know, important thing is, you know, guys come and guys want to be there. Because I said something before and I had no regrets in saying it, you know. I said, if you want to play, come and show me that you want to play. You know, because we need the right players, and that's the only way you're going to get results. I mean, people might not like it, but it's the truth, because if you come and your intentions are wrong, and then that's dead weight. And that's not what we need. We need players who are going to come and fight for Jamaica. Because, you know, at the end of the day, this is business. Some people only get one shot at going to a World Cup, so we don't have time to waste. If a time I come to waste, better you stay. So it's simple as that. You come, when a business time, when a fun time, you get the job done, 3 games, you get some results, you enjoy the moment at the end of the tour, and then you go back to your clubs.
Beyond the World Cup qualifiers, because you're talking about guys coming and representing the colours, what do you see with this team, this squad of players beyond?
Yeah, so the challenge is going to be to keep this group together and not, you know, if we don't make the World Cup, then you look and nobody wants to come and play again. And then we're going to start over. And then you're going to have one set of guys playing, and then when it's time for World Cup qualifiers, you have guys know all of a sudden interested. And that's what we have to eliminate. We need to build a team. We need to build a team, and the longer you play together. And I guarantee you that if we don't make this World Cup, and hopefully most of the guys have another shot, and we keep this group together, play the Nations League, play the Gold Cup, play some friendlies, without a doubt we should be walking into the next World Cup. But players have to understand that you can't just want to come. Not saying that's the case now, but players can't just want to come when it's World Cup. That's not how you build a team. You know, if you look at the US, and every minute you see them call camp. Every minute, January camp, all these different camps, because it takes time. You have to play, and the more you play together, that's how you build. Because then you're gonna build this cohesiveness where when you go up on the field, you don't even have to think. Everything, you just know where a man for there and when, and every time you add new players, you have to start over. You know what I mean? So it's just the straight up truth. You know, come and invest in the thing, and let's do this together, and you know, make our families proud, make the nation proud, and make ourselves proud, because I think it's about time.
What went wrong for Tappa?
Results. It's straightforward, you know. You win, and I think Tappa know that. It's the nature of the job. You win, the players get the praise. You lose, the coach get the praise. And you know, it's just unfortunate because his job is a result-based job. And unfortunately, it's worldwide, it's universal. If you can't get the job done as a coach, eventually your time is gonna run out. So I think that's just what happens, and he knows it. You know, it's the life of a coach.
Some people made the claim, and myself, I from the outside speaking, I wonder too, is it that he wasn't able to manage this level of players? Was it that he couldn't get them on board with what he wanted tactically and all these things?
I don't know. I won't go into it too much, but if a player don't want to be on board, no matter what you do, they just won't be on board. You know, and that might be the case. But again, I'm not sure if that was the case, because if you track back and you look at some of the unfortunate series, had we had, you know, the ball had bounced the other way, you know, he probably would have still had a job, and then we probably would not be saying if it's a case where players don't want to play for him or not on board. So again, you know, we can probably sit down and try to find different reasons, but it's going to come back down to results. You know, and at the end of the day, even if I don't want to play for a coach, you know, and I have to take things into perspective. I probably only get one shot at a World Cup. So I'm going to make, because I don't want to play for this coach, I lose my opportunity at going to a World Cup. You know, so I think if that was the case, players would actually be crazy. Because I am not going to, the weight, if you take them both into consideration, it would not be worth it going out there and drawing my leg, you know, because I don't want to play for the coach. And in return, you know, not having a chance to play at the World Cup, it doesn't add up. So I want to think, you know, when you look at the logics of it, I don't think that was the case. Could be wrong, but I hope that wasn't the case.
Well, what about Paul Hall? He's stepped up from the assistant position to the interim role. I think he has what it takes to get us over the line.
We're about to find out. Because again, if he comes in and we still don't get the results, then we're going to have a problem again. So time will tell.
First time ever sit down in, sir. Tell about the place now. Why you choose to do this? Was this a business thing or just a personal interest?
It was a personal interest. It was something that I've always wanted to do. Since I was younger growing up, I wanted to be a professional footballer, and I wanted to own a sports bar lounge. So I'm living the dream.
Yeah.
You know, and this is like in my hometown. I grew up 5 minutes from here. You know, I always wanted to do this, but every time the vision would come to me, I would, you know, shy away from it. And then it happened that this mall came here, 5 minutes from my hometown. I said, why not? This is it, you know, the timing and everything. I just went for it. I took a leap of faith. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
But we are going.
Yeah.
We are going, yeah.
So, well, I mean, obviously this is before opening on a Sunday. What's the crowd like in this place? You come here often? I can't
when
hold the place another
when I'm around, I pop up occasionally, but you know, nobody knows when I'm coming.
Yeah.
You know, and it could be in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, before opening, closing. But I enjoy being here. You know, just come in and look in and watch the flow and just know we are going. You know, we are going and on a Sunday, you know, the place packed. And we're not where we want to be yet, but we're getting there.
Like the space. I mean, obviously, like I say, not there yet, but I mean...
But it have a vibe, man.
Yeah, it does.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, live DJ, you know, Thursday karaoke. You come, you just vibe. Some quality food, quality drinks, and you know. We have the lounge side. This is the bar side, and we have the lounge side that's more secluded if you want. You know, you come out with your girl, and yeah, and we have like the lunch menu during the week. So you know, during the week it's more quiet, and again after work you can come out and just roll a vibe and nice, clean, comfortable environment. You don't have to worry about nothing.
But as the weekend touch.
The weekend touch. You know, chip into our next gear, and you know, again, have a buzz.
All right, so what are the aspirations you have outside of football?
I want to help. I want to give back. I recently registered my foundation, Angelic Foundation.
What is the foundation?
Due to time, we haven't been able to do anything yet, but the most important thing is that we are registered overseas, and it's obviously non-profit. And people who donate can write it off on their taxes. But the foundation is going to be helping elderly and the youth. So we want to target the older folks and the youth. This is the next generation, so yeah. All right, you know, this is your boy Andre Blake. You know, and I just want to say a big shout out to 876Stream. And yeah, you know the thing go, where they are kick out, Sports Bar and Lounge, Maple and Clarendon. Alright?